Good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to chat and for your time this morning. If my presentation could come up.
Hi, Naomi. I am working on getting it up right now. I'm having some technical challenges.
Oh, no problem. So I'll just start talking. It's the same as everyone. It's been very challenging for the education department, but we have persevered and pivoted along with everyone to develop programming that can be delivered even during a pandemic. There we go. And next slide, please. Great. So we have a lot of partnerships, and that's one of the main things I'd like to share with you. And it's through these partnerships that we have still been able to deliver programming during the pandemic. Students are not coming to the Tiffin Center right now, so we are going to them. And we started doing outreach in 2011, and it's grown every year, but especially now because children are not getting on a bus to come to the field centers. So one of the main partnerships we have that is new is our Georgian Bay Forever partnership. And they approached us about developing and delivering microplastics programming in the Collingwood area. And so they have a program called the Divert and Capture program, where they put canisters on the effluent leaving washing machines to capture microfibers. And through their funding, we purchased microscopes that students can use to sift through beach sand, which we cooked at a low temperature to kill any pathogens, and look and find microplastics and then consider where they came from and how they can make a change in their life and others in their family to help offset that. So even during the pandemic, we delivered the program to 112 students, and the goal is 400 per year. And this is a initiative that will be going on for about 3 years. Next slide, please. We received fantastic feedback from one of the principals where we delivered this program. These are pictures of students distancing and using the microscopes, and these are some of the pictures that they took with these microscopes to show what they had found. And so this teacher wrote out to us to say that she had a debate with a grade 6 class who were upset that they were using styrofoam cups to drink water. And so they had a full discussion, and the teachers asked, well, we have had these cups for 10 years. So should we just throw them out, or should we use them and then make better choices? So she ended by saying she is sharing this information because of the work with the Tiffin Center, that the students were able to knowledgeably discuss this as an issue in their area. Next slide, please. One of the partnerships we've had for a very long time, over 3 decades, is our partnership with our local school board, public school board. And about 4 years ago, we started a new version of this partnership whereby we would go to schools and teach grade 4 students 3 times. So 3 touch points. The more you see students, the more impactful it is. And so instead of delivering programming to just 4s and 7s once, we would see just the 4s 3 times. So we would go to their school and take them on trips in their community. And it's so impactful because students do not need to get on a bus to go and visit nature. They live in and around nature, and it connected them to the communities where they live. And we've gone back and found out that students go back with their parents and discover new things that they wouldn't have otherwise. And so even during a pandemic, if students are in school, we show up for a contactless schoolyard visit. And we don't go into school, which we typically don't anyways. Our goal is to get kids outside. And so this is still happening even during the pandemic. Next slide, please. Also, with the Simcoe County District School Board partnership, we pivoted and offer virtual programming. And so not only for kids who are home, about 18% of the students in Simcoe County have chosen to learn remotely. And so we deliver programming live and then asynchronous learning that they access at any time. And some of those are videos, activities, scavenger hunts, things, initiatives to get them outside with their family. Next slide, please. The City of Barrie Winterfest is something that we've participated with in the past, and they went virtual this year and asked us to contribute. So we made some scavenger hunt cards for students to learn how to track animals in the wintertime. So there's two versions, one for younger folks and one for older kids. And this picture of myself is a video of me talking about how to track and where to go and why it's important and how to do it. So that is live on the City of Barrie website for this month of February. Next slide, please. Collaboration. Further, we have an education program partnering with other Conservation Authority educators. And we have an annual conference. We meet in November for 3 days of learning about how and sharing. We're not proprietary in the sense that we are all working towards educating children in our own watersheds. And so we share with each other so that we can learn and deliver the best programs. So that's a thing called Rekindle the Sparks. We have an exciting opportunity right now, sponsored by Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, whereby NVCA, St. Clair Region Conservation Authority, and South Nation, 3 conservation authorities, plus Eco Superior, are creating a virtual field trip of the Great Lakes. So MECP wishes to impress people with the Great Lakes, and they've said that it's almost as if they're invisible in plain sight. And we really need to treasure what we have in our area. And so that's something we're working towards right now. We may be helping and partnering with TRCA. There's a youth corps group that are meeting in partnership with Mono Township about invasive species and Phragmites. Because of the pandemic, those details are still in the works. Education Department was grateful to receive an endowment from James Ems, who donated money to the NVCA, and it went to the Education Department. Next slide, please. Looking forward. So we continue to do the Georgian Bay Forever Microplastics program for the next 2 years. We will continue to do the grade 4 contract as in perpetuity. We continue to do that. And our hope is if Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit says that it's safe to do so, we will still run our summer camp, although at half capacity, because usually we would see about 60 children a week. We're going to go to about 30, and that way we can ensure that everyone stays safe. Next slide, please. Developing a virtual maple syrup program. So this will entail a pre-recorded video of 10 minutes of our Sugar Shack, which, silver linings, there are things that we can share with children that they normally wouldn't see if they actually came on site. So Spencer can lift the top off the evaporator, and we keep talking about how sap moves through the evaporator. Now they can see it and looking into the sap tank. And that's something that will be sent prior to help children have their minds on when we have a live presentation. And that will be educators in the sugar bush going through the stations that they would have seen if they came on site. And this is something, there's going to be special pricing for children who are in the far reaches of our watershed who typically wouldn't travel to Tiffin because it's too far. We're really hoping to have them experience what we can offer virtually. We are developing a climate change program for students this year. And the following year, we are developing some teacher PD, to help them teach their students about climate change. I am enrolled in the Forest School Practitioner course so that in the fall we can open up our forest school. And Simcoe County District School Board reached out to us. They want us to partner with Lake Simcoe Region Conservation Authority and Simcoe County District School Board to develop a road salt water quality program. And this is really important because it's a real world connection. Students are going to learn how to test the chlorides in the water that collects near their school and ditches. and assess that, determine where it came from, how it could be mitigated. And that information will be put into a database that they can see across the watershed. And so it's a real world connection that is so much more meaningful than just make work for children. Next slide. So that's it. Typically, the education department the year prior, pre-COVID, we saw over 14,000 children through the school year. This past year, we saw just under 2,800. But we continue to work even through when we could.